Very much needed. Okay.
White people in this country have been pressured and guilted and lied about to an extreme that is best seen on a Cinnabon video. We'll get to that in a second. But think about how many times you've heard that as a white person, you are privileged, you have white privilege, and that you're a racist, and that you're a nationalist, and that you're a Nazi. You know, you can only take that language so many times and privileged. You have white privilege, and that you're a racist, and that you're a nationalist, and that you're a Nazi. You know, you can only take that language so many times until you sit and say, I'm going to fight back.
All praises and glory goes to our mighty power, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakah Kudash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone and salutations unto the elect men that's continually feeding the sheep of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai in sincerity and in truth, with his great gospel coming out of our Bible. And Esau, Edom, he's under pressure. He's under pressure. Everywhere he's turned, it's a finger being pointed at him, right? A finger being pointed at him for what the problems of the earth. Right, and he can't be upset. You're the man in power right now. The earth is given into your authority. Right? You're the supreme ruler of the earth. That's why the other nations come to you for assistance when they have problems in their societies and their countries. Right? So this devil, man, all he did was add on to the problems. Add on to the problems. Now he's being identified and he can't take it. And guess what? He's still prideful in his heart. He's still prideful in his heart, though his kingdom is collapsing. Right? The world is closing in on him. He's still prideful in his heart. Talking about it's only so much you could take. Right? That's why the Bible said the devil knoweth his time is short. He's coming down with a great wrath. He's about to turn up in this society, man. Everything points to these devils turning up in this society. I'm going to read the book of Obadiah 1 verse 3. It says, the pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks. Right? When you looked up the word Caucasian, at one time it gave you the description. It said what? Cave dweller, right? Who's known for dwelling in the clefts of the rocks, right? In them high habitations of mountains, Esau, Edom, right? From Petra. Then the Lord put his ass in, he ended up in the South Georgia, Russia, right? In the mountains of Georgia, Russia, right? So you already see this is a caveman. His history is about cave dwelling. It says, the pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground, right? And that's what's happening right now. The Lord is exposing him. The Lord is taking away, stripping him of his authority. And guess what? He's still prideful. It says, the pride of thine heart have deceived thee.
One of our mottos. And, that's one of our mottos, white man fight back. Like, we're just sick of the society treating us like that we can be the punching bag forever, and that we're not going to assert ourselves, that we're just going to accept, oh yeah, we're bad, we did the wrong thing in the past, sorry for founding the best country in the world. No, we're not going to be like that. That's not how we're built. And not going to assert ourselves, that we're just going to accept, oh yeah, we're bad, we did the wrong thing in the past, sorry for founding the best country in the world. No, we're not going to be like that. That's not how we're built. And, I think Thomas has a similar attitude to that. It's like, let's actually stand up for I think he calls it the founding stock Americans, which is obviously like a European descended population.
I'm going to go back to Obadiah. Let's start at 1:1. It says the vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord power concerning who? Edom. Right? They're not white people. They're not Caucasians. They're not British. They're not Russians. They're not Americans. Right? They're not Australians. Right? They're Esau, Edom, right? The wicked the scriptures speak of. It says, thus saith the Lord power concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Rise ye, and let us rise against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee smaller among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised, right? And that they are despised, right? And the word small is insignificant. Right, you have an insignificant race of people, man, who's despised amongst all the nations on earth. And now that the world is coming to an end, everybody's separating for themselves from who the wicked. Everybody's seeing who the wicked is, right? That's why the wicked is saying, hey, man, let's get away from these other nations, right? They're gonna be a problem. They saying they need to come together. as Edomites. Well, I'm not saying as Edomites, as Europeans, Caucasians, and so called white peoples, but as Edom. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. It says, the pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, whose habitation is high. It saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest amongst the stars, right? Rome was about the eagle, America's about the eagle. Russia got 2 motherfucking eagles, right? That's their symbol. It says, amongst the stars, then shall I bring thee down, saith the Lord. Right? The Lord is bringing them down. The Lord is removing their strength and the power. Right? That's why this devil's preparing for that last final fight. Right? These devils, they buying up a lot of pistols. They buying a lot of weapons. Right? They're preparing for what? An end of their world, the end of their system. They're digging and building. They're digging in the ground. They're digging in mountains. They're going into the oceans. They're fleeing into the mountain, into the heavens. They're trying to leave America. They're trying to escape the judgment that's coming, right? You can't escape the judgment that's coming. Right? Just like we had to deal with our punishment, Esau, you're going to have to deal with your punishment. Right? And we know that Esau going to turn up. Isaiah 48:22, it says, there is no peace, except Yahweh unto the wicked. Right? There is no peace coming to these devils. Right? There is no peace coming to these devils. And you can't save the devil. You can't help the wicked. It says here in Proverbs 11:21, though hand join in hand, what it say? The wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. Right? That's why they always have Esau in the movie, who's right there with him, trying to be his sidekick, trying to help him, trying to support him, really kind of saving his ass. It's always a Jake. Right? It's always a Jake right beside him, trying to help the wicked. But what the Lord said, though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. It says the wicked shall not be unpunished.
What's going on? Go, get out of here. Get the out of here. Go, run. Faster. That is what's going on in Eureka these days. My buddy up here shot this not too long ago. Another homeless lady that he had to run off his property. Happens all the time, he told me. Eureka, California is in a bad place right now. And that's why I'm here, to show you.
The first few years of business, you would never see somebody sit down in broad daylight and hit their arm. Never. But now it's normal.
Nick and Kim here from way up on the Northern California coast. Now, for years, people have been writing me emails. Nick, you need to come up to Eureka. It's the kind of place your audience would love. We're troubled too. So here we are. Now, what's going on here? Could a place as wonderful and unique and beautiful as Eureka, tucked away up in a little pocket of California, could it also have gone to crap? Well, we're going to find out right now. And I'm going to start right here in downtown, because I can see it all around me.
I recently purchased
And we're going to, he's pretty much one of the most vocal people that told us we needed to come up here and see that. And here we go, right here already. Is this pretty typical for
Yeah? Oh, yeah. All day, every day. And it's always the people that are...
He's just landed right here already. Is this pretty typical for
Yeah? Oh, yeah. All day, every day. And it's always the people that are...
He's just laying down like he's
sprawled out. It changes every day, but you'll see new people. Then go left up here. And then the thing is, you always see them hanging out, and they never clean up their garbage after them. You always have a trail like that right there. Just not a care in the world, they leave all their shit.
Oh God, look at this.
And then check these people out over here. And usually when I drive down the street, they look pretty aggressive when you even just look at them. Like, you look at the way they're looking at you right now.
Yeah, they're not happy about being on camera.
And then go take a right up here on the next street. Drive down the street, they look pretty aggressive when you even just look at them. Like, you look at the way they're looking at you right now.
Yeah. They're not happy about being on camera.
Right, and you see the punishment upon these devils, boy. Drug addiction, poverty, right? A city infested with people that can't benefit the city, right? These people, man, they ain't contributing to nothing but the sad on my sight for sore eyes in the city, right? Like you said, they leave trash, these devils, right? And what else? He's killing their businesses. He's killing their businesses. What's another thing? They got the RV game going on in California, man. All you see is a bunch of Edomites living in RVs. RVs going in fire due to what, the fentanyl and all these different drugs. They still trying to keep that dope fiend spirit going, even though they're going down, right? Like it says, the wicked shall not be unpunished, shall not go unpunished. And we're seeing the punishment, right? We're seeing the punishment, the end of their world, the end of their system. You got a free country, a free land, and this is what it done become to.
Go right up here on the next street.
God, it's such a wonderful city, right? Like it's...
Yeah, this is where it's
visually,
usually the worst.
God.
In the morning...
Oh my goodness.
In the morning, you'll have everybody from around here kind of with their tent set up, and then the cops come and tell them to move it, but they don't go anywhere. They just hang out.
Is this our Skid Row?
Pretty much, yeah. It's our mini Skid Row here. And they don't... These people are all... The thing is, they don't just stay here. They go steal shit from all over the town. This guy on the bike right there, he rides right in front of my property, blasting music, scouting for shit.
Yeah.
He's been going around for a couple years. There, he rides right in front of my property, blasting music, scouting for shit.
Yeah.
He's been going around for a couple years. Just sketchy people that you really don't want to have anything to do with.
Damn,
ever.
That's like gangs in New York shit back there.
Yeah.
They say...
I'm reading the book of Job 14:5. It says, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee, thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. Right? Just like Rome had a time to be great, and it had a downfall, and it had a full collapse. Right? We're watching the downfall of Babylon the Great. Right? Because system is still going, police is still active, military is still active. It's going to be a day all these things are just going to collapse. Right? The light's going to be shut off, the water ain't going to be running. Right? That's that future that's coming. And a lot of people, they're not prepared for that type of future. In their minds, they think this system is going to continue. Right? The scriptures tell you. This is the book of Psalms 49:11. It says, their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever. And their dwelling places to all generations, right? Because these devils, they're in like the pride. That pride is so thick in them. They don't see the end of their system. They actually see a recovery, right? They thinking getting rid of all the migrants is going to make this place bounce back. Right? There's no fixing the drug addiction. There's no fixing the collapse of the currencies. There's no fixing the hatred that these other nations have for Babylon the Great. Right? You see a bunch of troops being sent, down central and South America. Where do you think they're going to end up? Here on the shores of Babylon the Great? Right? It says their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. Right? And these devils, they're not going to continue, man. This is Hebrews 12:17. It says, for ye know that afterwards, when he would have inherited the blessings, he was rejected. Right? Esau was rejected from inheriting the kingdom. Right? This kingdom that's about to be translated to that's kingdom that's coming for our people. Right? These other nations ain't gonna get to be great in this kingdom. Right? They gonna have to do the 1,000 years of being slaves. Full subjection, and still after that, they're still underneath us. Right? The Lord's not going to put the laws in their minds and their inward thought parts. No, they're just going to go back out to their kingdoms, and they're going to have to learn to live righteously. Right? But us, the Lord's going to bless us with new minds, new bodies, new hearts, new spirits. Right? We're going to be made perfect when Yahweh Shai returns, starting with the elect. It says here in Hebrews 12 and 17, and what happens to Esau, Edom? He's going into captivity, and after 1,000 years, he will be purged, burned off the face of the earth. Right? Hebrews 12 and 17, for ye know how that after, when he would have inherited the blessings, he was rejected, for he found no place to repent, though he sought it carefully with tears. Right? Because Esau, Edom, what's in his mind? What's always been in his mind, Genesis 27 and 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessings, wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob. Right? That's always been in his heart. That's why it says, because you have had a perpetual hatred. Right? Everlasting, ongoing hatred for who? The children of Israel. Right? The Lord's going to punish you for that. And the Lord is punishing you for that. The Lord's stripping you of all greatness, right? Even your wisdom. It says, has wisdom vanished from Teman? Right? Let's get that. Right? This is Jeremiah 49 and 7. It says, concerning Edom, thus saith the Lord power of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Right? Is the counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? Right? Of course it's vanishing, right? Because they know their time is short, so they're not moving with wisdom. Right? These devils, they're just, they moving with that spirit of the spirit of Satan, man. Just do what the hell they want to do. That's why they're being identified more and more.
You may have seen this video from the Arkansas Capitol. It's a neo-Nazi group marching through the streets of Little Rock over the weekend, and we now know tonight the Blood Tribe did not have a permit for the march. It's leaving many frustrated and in fear after the group marched at two of the city's most symbolic locations. Tanya Motorzitsky looked into how demonstration was allowed to happen and shares how the community is responding.
A small group of more than 20 white supremacists marched the streets of the Little Rock Capitol.
Nobody wants to know that Nazis are coming to their town.
And in front of Little Rock Central High School.
I don't think many people felt safe this weekend.
Something Representative Denise Ennett says was a reminder of history.
The Little Rock Nine, almost 70 years ago, these 9 brave souls went in to integrate Central High.
The Blood Tribe, who demonstrated on Saturday, did not have a permit with the city or Capitol Police. By law, if they stayed on sidewalks and kept it moving, no permit is legally required. We also reached out to Governor Sarah Huckabee's office. Her spokesperson said in a statement, racism has no place in Arkansas, and I condemn this vile protest. Little Rock police say they monitored the situation and cited a member of the group who was driving the moving truck hauling the group. Little Rock chapter of the NAACP President Marie Hollowell says Arkansas needs stricter hate crime laws.
We cannot continue to cause this division. We cannot continue to promote hate.
And it says in 2021, during her first term as state representative, there was discussion of hate crime laws.
I remember that bill.
I'm going to read it again, Genesis 27 and 41 for the NAACP. And all you Negroes who want to join hand in hand with your enemy, right? The Bible says, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessings wherewith his father blessed him. And said in his heart, right? This is still in his mind, in his heart. The days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. Right? And nothing has changed. Right, all these old school jigs talking about that was the past. Things are supposed to be different. Right? No, things are supposed to be exactly how things are going. Right? You're not the same blood. You're not the same people. You're not the same creed. Right? It says, you shall be separated. One people shall be separated from the other. It says, 2 nations are in thy womb. You're not the same as the wicked. Right? So the wicked don't, and what it says, because of your blessings, because of the blessings that you got. Right, so that means what? He's going to have to serve you. The elder's going to have to serve his brother. And these devils, they know that, hey man, things are changing. Everything's pointing towards not them ruling. It's damn sure ain't pointing towards them ruling. It's pointing towards to the end of their rulership. That's why they're not having as much children they're having. That's why the countries they possessed are being invaded by what so-called migrants, other nations. right? This is a sign of collapse of a nation, right? Ezekiel 35. We go to 5. It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time, right? In the time of their calamity, in the time of that their iniquity had an end. It says, therefore, as I live, saith the Lord, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall what pursue thee. Sith thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee.
More than 20 white supremacists marched the streets of the Little Rock capital.
Nobody wants to know that Nazis are coming to their town.
And in front of Little Rock Central High School.
I don't think many people felt safe this weekend.
Something Representative Denise Ennett says was a reminder of history.
The Little Rock Nine, almost 70 years ago, these 9 brave souls went in to integrate Central High.
The Blood Tribe, who demonstrated on Saturday, did not have a permit with the city or Capitol Police.
70 years ago, these 9 brave souls went in to integrate Central High.
The Blood Tribe, who demonstrated on Saturday, did not have a permit with the city or Capitol Police. By law, if they stayed on sidewalks and kept it moving.
Yeah, these devils, they getting ready for that purge. They getting ready to get at Jakes. And everything points towards it, right? They buying up arms. Right, you got Edomites getting caught up with fake police badges, fake ICE gear. Right? All these devils, the only thing on their mind is to get at you Jakes. Get at you Jakes, and a lot of you simple ass Jakes, you're gonna trust in this devil. Right? You even see with DJT, what he doing? He purging you Jakes from his government, from the military, from positions in office, right? Because he's getting ready to get at y'all, man. This Ecclesiasticus 12:10, it says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness, right? These devils are definitely not to be trusted in the times that we're living in, right? You got a lot of you Jakes, man. You done moving into them Edomite communities. Guess what? They about to come get you. They about to come get you. If the Lord ain't dealing with you, your ass is in trouble, man, because Esau's about to turn up. Shalom.